Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? It's so easy with Anchor.
Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use.
And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what we're doing right now by reading this ad. We struggled to find the right way to distribute our podcast, and Anchor made it quick, easy, and free. We're on platforms we had never heard of, and that's all thanks to Anchor doing the hard work.
So, if you have been thinking about starting your own podcast, head on over to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start.
Hello, everyone. We are back with another episode of Spilling the Bad Tea. We are so glad you could join us again for our birthday party, dishing on all things Disney. I'm Rachel, and as always, I'm joined today by Katie, Stephanie, and Kelly.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for doing that. I was thinking recently of some things I enjoyed the most about Disney other than the parks themselves. It has got to be the resorts. It's probably one of my favorite non-park related things about a Disney vacation. I could spend an entire day just walking around the various ones. In fact, we did just that the last time that we were all together at Disney when Kelly got engaged. Katie, Stephanie, and I explored Pop Century and Art of Animation for hours. We have tons of pictures to prove it. I was really curious about everybody's favorite resort and what they liked about it and why it stood out to them the most. I also thought it would be fun to see which resort was our first and what we remembered about them all back in the day. So in today's episode, we're going to share some of these personal favorites with you all. Okay, Kelly, what was your first resort?
So my first resort was Port Orleans Riverside, and back when I stayed there, it was Dixie Landings, and that was the first resort I ever stayed at. It's still one of my most favorite resorts. I've stayed at the Riverside, I think twice, and then French Quarter once. I think when I stayed there the first time, it was around 1999, and I just remember like walking through the grounds and like they're so pretty, and it's just so like serene, I guess. And then the food court was like one of my dad's favorites. Like he still talks about the food court at Port Orleans like constantly. If you mention food at Disney World, he's going to talk about the food court, which I don't even remember exactly what was so great about it at that time, which it's pretty good now. But yeah, that food court, man, he'll go on about that.
Well, it's like good, like New Orleans cooking, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm from the South, so it was like, it wasn't too far from home feeling, I guess, at Port Orleans, which is probably why my family really loved it. So, Stephanie, what is your first resort?
So the first time we went to Disney, we went to like a travel agent to plan it because we had no idea what we were doing. And I guess my parents must have told them we were trying to do it like as most affordably as possible. So they recommended staying at one of the All-Stars. And my little brother was with us, and he is a total sports nut. So they said, we have to stay at All-Star Sports. So that was where we stayed for our first trip. It was over Christmas, and it was all decorated. It was awesome. We had like such a fun time staying in the football area and like climbing on all the X's and O's they had all over the field. And one of my best memories from that trip is that they used to have character meet and greets in the lobby every morning, which was awesome. So you didn't have to like stand in line at the parks. You would get to go to the lobby every morning right before you were going to catch the bus. Like you'd grab breakfast, go meet. I remember meeting Jiminy Cricket, Captain Hook, the Queen of Hearts. And then you'd like hop on your bus and go to the parks. And it was just an awesome way to start the day. And my brother really, really like geeked out on the whole sports thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun. Katie, where was your first resort stay?
So for the listeners that don't know, Rachel and I are actually cousins. We went to Disney for the first time together when we were very young. I believe I was 5 and you were 6, right, Rachel?
Mm-hmm, yeah, I think so.
So we went with our whole family. So it was like a big group. And I don't think I've done a trip that big since then. But it was really cool to do that for the first time. And staying at All-Star Music at the time, I think that was like the best option for kids. Because kids don't care about fancy resorts. They care about, that's a giant character looking at me when I go to my room.
Totally.
So now I would probably say art animation, but for the time, yeah, it was definitely the All-Stars, and we stayed at Music. And I remember spending so much time at that pool. The one with the 3 caballeros?
Yes, it was everything.
Mhm. I literally, like, parents have a video of me not wanting to go back to Magic Kingdom because I didn't want to leave that pool. Like, I was pouting, throwing a full-on hissy fit because I wanted to stay at that pool. So I'll never forget that. And every time I go back to that pool now, it's like those memories, that first trip come back to me. Rachel, what were some of your best memories of that first trip?
The pool obviously was the best. I mean, we have a video, and I remember watching that thing all the time. I haven't watched it in a long time. It'd be cool to watch. But yeah, definitely the pool. There was a lot of us there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a really good first Disney trip experience. But I feel like I remember more of like that freaking pool than like going in the parks,
Right?
I'm like crying. I cried all the time. Oh my God. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. But moving right along, we can pop over into whatever our favorite resorts are. I picked for mine Art of Animation. It's new, but I really like it. It's not fancy. It's not whatever, but
It's so fun.
It's beautiful for what it is, though.
so pretty. Yeah.
Like, for a value resort, you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We stayed there Josh's first trip, and it's just the way that it looks is like it immerses you into whatever building you're at. Like
Totally.
you're in the Cars movie, or you're in Finding Nemo, or like, I mean, I remember when we went on that resort hopping day or whatever that we did, we took all those pictures, and like it's just amazing what they did with that place.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do feel like I'm in the Cars movie, like I'm life size, but in Finding Nemo, I feel like I'm a small, tiny, like krill.
Right.
Like all of those figures are so big. I'm like, I am a little tiny plankton in this movie.
I was just going to say the Cars section reminds me of the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground.
Yes, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, you feel like you're in the movie. But yeah, I didn't think about that with Nemo and even Lion King. You're like, I am tiny.
Right.
Yep. The Little Mermaid too. They're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that I've done at Art of Animation is go to the food court. I haven't been able to explore the rest of it, which is really sad. So I can't have much input on that one, but the food court was really, really good.
Put it on your list for your next trip. Definitely. Yeah. It's a must do.
It's definitely a must do.
Yeah, I'd love to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't stay there, it's such a cool place to just go and walk around. Like, I mean, we stayed there for half the day taking
Yeah.
pictures, walking around. Like,
Yeah.
I love the lobby. That's hard to say. With all the like the sketches and like the concept art. Like concept art's one of my most favorite things to look at from Disney. So like I think the lobby's really cool.
yes,
Oh, yeah. It is one of my favorite lobbies.
Kelly, you in particular, I bet would really love like walking around the resort too. Because on all of the buildings, for each movie, they have concept art that like paints the walls. And on the sidewalks, whereas that like Pop Century, they have like facts about every year that you're kind of passing. They have like fun facts about each film and some of like the work that went into it. I bet you would really like that.
That'd be right up my alley.
Yep.
the rooms are cool too. I know that the one time Stephanie surprised us with the mermaid room,
Best surprise ever.
which was so good because it was when we all like really wanted to stay there. Nobody had stayed there yet. We were like, gotta do it. So we did that, and we freaked out. I remember that. That was so great.
The detail in the room is insane.
Yeah. And that's the same in the Cars. Like I stayed in the Cars suite, and it was just like, it was crazy. Like all of it was amazing. Like even like the pull out sofa bed, like looked like Doc's like seat in his car. Like,
Shut up.
yeah,
That's so cool.
like an old timey like car seat. Like the whole thing. It was like, oh, so cool.
How many people can you sleep in one of the suites?
It says 6, but that's a lie.
6. That's with like children with like little tiny baby kids.
Yeah. Because like it's like you have the big bedroom that's like kind of off by itself with its own bathroom, and like obviously it's like a queen size or something like that. It's not. It's bigger than what is in the basic rooms, but it's that, and then the pull-out sofa is like a pull-out love seat, and then the Murphy bed is just like not much bigger than a twin bed. Like it's very small, but they say 6. I would say probably like 4, comfortably 4. But
Did you guys how many people did you have in there?
we had 4. We had 4 adults.
Did you guys sleep on the Murphy bed or the pull-out couch?
Well, we went with our friends, and when we went, Tony was sick, so he slept on the pull-out couch, and Lauren slept on the Murphy bed.
Gotcha.
So me and Josh slept in the big bed.
Nice.
But yeah, and they seem to be comfortable like that, and I think that it would be that. But like, I don't think that you could do like 4 adults or like however many adults and like or like big kids. I think it's definitely got to be like adults and small children.
But that would be nice for like a family with smaller children, maybe like 3 kids.
Oh, yeah.
that any other place, it's not going to accommodate a family of 5, whereas that would fit them.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
It's nice that they finally have an option.
And it's good to know that like 6 adults should not be booking that room.
Good to know. Valuable information.
Yeah, I would have assumed that would have been fine. Disney says I can sleep 6, I'll sleep 6.
Right. And I mean, and if you really, really love the person that you would be sleeping with, like you could really do that. Like, but you would have to like love them. Like snuggle hard.
Yeah, I haven't stayed in any of the suites yet. Like when we stayed at the Little Mermaid, they're just regular value rooms like you would get at the All Stars or Pop Century, because that building was built when they were planning on expanding Pop Century across the lake there. So it has the same layout and architecture as the Pop Century buildings.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
I remember you telling us that, but like I don't remember ever like noticing that building there. Ever.
The things that you don't notice.
They probably have
Probably painted that like no show green or whatever that.
Oh yeah, go away green. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
But some other things I really love about the resort is the food, obviously.
Yes.
Oh, girl, yes.
Best value food court.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're going to come back to that later, too. It's so good.
But, so they have a build your own pasta thing, and that is just, that is the Lord's blessing to Disney people. And they have this seafood pasta. You don't necessarily build your own, but they have it, and they'll tell you at lunchtime they don't have it, but they lying. Because I got it. But it is so good. It is some of the best seafood pasta, I swear. Oh my God. Makes my mouth water just thinking about it.
I know. You just talking about their pasta bar is making
right.
me
I can like see the bow ties with the Alfredo sauce. I can taste it.
Like I had spaghetti for dinner tonight, but it just does not compare.
Yeah. The last time, I think my last trip to Disney, I stayed at Pop Century, but like I've eaten in that food court a million times. So me and my brother walked over to Art of Animation to try out their food court, and it's awesome. And right across the bridge, you get like your nice walk on and like earn your breakfast.
Walk to earn those carbs from that pasta bar.
So good. And that actually is another point that I had, is that Pop Century is right next door. You can walk over there. You can explore them both. In my opinion, they're definitely the best 2 value resorts, even though I stay at the All Stars pretty much every time I go. I just think that they're the 2 best ones. And it's so great that they're just right there together.
Pop Century is definitely my go-to because, I don't know, I feel like I like that there's only one bus as opposed to like the All Stars where you have to catch like, I don't know, sometimes it makes multiple stops and I don't like that. I want one stop for Pop Century, and I like that I can go over and explore Art of Animation. So that's definitely like my go-to stay.
I think that they changed the buses though, and now that each All Star now has its own bus.
Like different bus stop, yeah.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I feel like during like the slow seasons, it might still go back to one. I don't know.
That's true, they might.
Which is usually when I'm there, so.
Although the new rooms at the All Stars are amazing.
Really nice.
So nice.
Yeah, we need to talk about this because like I don't know much about this, and I want to know like Do they all have it?
They're like a Disney themed, almost like a Motel 6. That doesn't sound like, that doesn't make it sound like it's a great place. Like it's like, you know, like the brand new Motel 6s that have like the nice hardwood floor and the nice stuff, not the crappy ones.
Okay.
Like the one we stayed at in Disneyland.
Yeah. The Travel Lodge.
Yeah, like it's nice.
But like, are they doing them to all of it? Like, I'll do all of them?
I think so, yeah. Like I think they're redoing them all.
I need to know because I hope.
I mean, it's in the process right now, so like half of them are done, half of them aren't, but they're nice.
Okay.
I'll look up some pictures and send them your way.
Because I remember seeing it when you guys went, but I was like,
And there's plugs everywhere, outlets freaking everywhere.
they listen to the people. Kelly, what is your favorite resort?
So I cheated on this a little bit and kind of chose 3, but I chose 3 for very different reasons. So my favorite resort, if I could just pick somewhere to stay, would be Port Orleans Riverside. Basically because of the charm there and because that's like where I stayed at first and it still holds like a lot of memories for me. And then my next favorite one I picked was Pop Century for practical stays. Like if we're going on a budget, which we usually almost always are, I just love Pop. I think the food court is good. And then you can always, of course, walk across the bridge to Art of Animation. And I love the larger than life icons for all the different decades. I love vintage things, specifically vintage Disney things. To see like in the lobby, they have a bunch of like shadow boxes with things from each decade. Like I could spend hours just looking at those little shadow boxes. My favorite like dream resort is Polynesian. I've never actually stayed there, but it's where my Mima and my papa took my aunts and my mom like the year after Walt Disney World opened. Like that's where they took them and they stayed at the Polynesian.
Aww.
So it's like a goal of mine to stay there. Of course, it was a lot cheaper back then. I actually still have some of the receipts and sales slips that my Meemaw had kept from when they stayed. And it's astonishing to look at the price differences between now and then. Like their entire trip is what they're charging for like one night now. So maybe one day I'll be able to stay there. That's my little cheating ones.
You never know. Keep your eye on those deals sometimes.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
So, Stephanie, which one did you choose as your favorite?
I chose the Yacht and Beach Club, which I've always wanted to stay at. And then I finally got the chance to last year, and it was like the best family vacation we've had. So my grandpa passed away earlier last year, and my mom got all of this like life insurance money, and she was like, I feel really weird having this like death money. And so she was like, I want to just make fun with it, fun for like the family. So she took 8 of us. So it was me, my brother, my dad, my sister, her husband, and their 2 kids. And she bought us like 2 rooms at the yacht club. And then we called up to see if we could get adjoining rooms. And they told us, no, sorry, like this resort doesn't have adjoining rooms. And we were like, okay, well, like rooms next to each other would be awesome. The next day they called back and said, would you have any interest in being upgraded to a turret suite? We were like, I don't know what that is. So I like Googled it real fast. I was like, yes, we would. Of course we would. Yes, we would. Thank you very much. We had like this like 2-bedroom suite with like this sitting room on like the corner of the resort. It looked like where the lighthouse is.
Oh,
It was huge. It was amazing. And we were like club level, which we've never done either, but that was included. And so like we had like free breakfast every morning and free like appetizers every night and beer and wine. And I was like, this is, it was like the best family vacation we've ever had. And it was with walking distance to Epcot. We had our own like private entrance there at the International Gateway. So it never took us very long to get in. It wouldn't take us very long to get out either, which was awesome. So we would break up the day by going to the pool in the afternoon, which I've also never spent much time doing on a Disney vacation because you're like so concerned with like seeing what you want to see in the parks, but being so close to the park, it was so easy to just walk out and go to the pool. Like we would spend either the morning or afternoon in Epcot and break it up with the pool. And my niece and nephew are so funny and they had so much fun in the pool. We would go in and like there's a sand bottom and a water slide, and it's easily inarguably the best pool on property. And it's my favorite resort. For like convenience, for the pool, for the rooms. I mean, obviously the upgrade was really awesome. And it's my favorite resort. For sure. 100%. How about you, Katie? What's your favorite?
My favorite has to be Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Good one.
Staying in a zoo is literally a zookeeper's dream. If I could sleep at work every day, like I would. You like waking up and seeing these animals, like I would spend all my trip there just sitting on the balcony watching the animals. My last trip to Disney, we stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It was 4 adults. We ended up getting stuck in a room with a queen bed and a bunk bed. And we were like, oh, no. That particular room is smaller too. And so we're like, this is just not going to work. Because I've stayed in some of the larger rooms at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Like they're roomy. We were like, yeah, 4 people, Animal Kingdom Lodge, no problem. But we got an awesome section of the savannah. And so we're like, well, I'd rather this than a bigger room with crappy views. So you would have to stay Savannah View for it to be like my favorite. Non-Savannah View, it's just a cool room. Like it's just a room. But with that Savannah View, it can't be beat. And the lobby's gorgeous. There's so many food choices there. There are so many restaurants at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
I know that.
Kelly used to work at the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, for reference.
I worked at the Mara, which was the quick service location at Animal Kingdom Lodge. And I remember like I would go to the break room for my break to like eat lunch or whatever. And if I sat in the right little booth, I could see like a sliver of the savannah. Every time I went on break, I would try to go get that little booth area so I could look out and see what animals were out there.
What a cool vantage point.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Animal Kingdom Lodge, definitely my favorite. It does have some drawbacks that there's no boats or monorail at a pretty high price point, but it's still Animal Kingdom Lodge, so, you know, you can forgive them for that.
And I've always found like the buses to be like way faster
Oh, yeah.
than the buses over at Pop Century.
Definitely. The buses definitely treat you better over there since you don't have a boat or a monorail and you are, you know, paying a little bit more for that resort. Yeah, definitely. I think the bus systems are way, way, way better there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or if I've just like every time I'm there, I'm just so happy that I like don't care that I'm waiting for a bus. I don't know.
When we were there in August, I think the most we waited for a bus was like 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, like there were constant buses. I don't know if it's the time of year, if the bus systems have just gotten better. I don't know what it was, but yeah, there were constant buses to Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. It was really nice. Although the All-Stars do feel like home to me. So they got a spot in my heart. They're not quite my favorite, but they do have a spot in my heart.
Yeah, so I agree with Katie, and Animal Kingdom Lodge is definitely on my list for like the perfect resort hopping day. So to start that off, I kind of broke things down into like breakfast, lunch, and dinner kind of aspects of the day. Hopefully, I would be waking up at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. I've never actually stayed there, so that's on the list definitely. And I would go to the Mara, of course, and I would get a bounty platter for breakfast, which just has all the food that you could want for breakfast.
I feel like I've often gone out of my way to get one of these bounty platters.
Bounty platters are the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Definitely grab that, and I'd grab some zebra domes for like a mid-morning snack or like a snack while I'm walking around Animal Kingdom Lodge, like looking at all the art and just kind of admiring how much work went into building that resort and how much thought is into each and every thing that you see in the lobby. And then I of course like going to see all the animals. Like to me, the animals kind of not come in second place, but like that's kind of like just the cherry on top to such a beautiful resort. So yeah, starting my morning out there definitely be the best way to kick off the day. And then for lunch, Port Orleans Riverside, of course, going back to one of my favorite resorts, just strolling around the waterfront and then grabbing lunch at the Riverside Mill food court. The muffalata there is my favorite. Of course, I got to get that with some house-made chips and a sweet tea because when you're in New Orleans, you don't drink anything but sweet tea. So got to get that.
Damn, that sounds good.
What is a muffalata?
Oh, it's a sandwich. So it's got different types of like
it's got
meat.
Olives.
Yeah,
that's all you need to know.
It has an olive. The olive spread is what makes it a muffalata, and then it usually has like ham and maybe some salami or pastrami and all this other. Oh, it's so good. I gotta stop talking about it because I'm gonna want that real bad. Yeah.
So where is this at?
Port Orleans Riverside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Writing that down.
Yeah.
Good to know.
There is also the restaurant, the table service restaurant called Boat Rights. It's at Port Orleans, and my husband and I still constantly talk about the meal that we got there. Like that's one of my like top 5 favorite meals that I've ever had in my entire life. Yeah, I got the prime rib, and I think he got crawfish etouffee, and like it was amazing. So yeah, you could also put that on the list for dinner, but it's fantastic. Nice. And speaking of dinner, I put to finish out the night at Ohana at the Polynesian. It's served, I think, family style. It's pretty much all you can eat. We always try to eat dinner around time that the fireworks are going to be going on because you can hear the music in the restaurant and watch the fireworks show. But if you can't get a reservation close to dinner, I would finish out with drinks at Trader Sam's, which is also at the Polynesian, and then go out onto the beach to watch the fireworks and cry because the fireworks are so beautiful. And I cry every time.
Oh. Yeah, you can't not cry at the fireworks.
What do they serve for dinner at Ohana? Because I've only ever been there for breakfast.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, I've also only done breakfast.
So much food.
Oh, they have everything. So that they start off with like this pineapple bread.
Yeah, they have that at breakfast.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Delicious.
And then they bring out like this tray of like I just completely lost my train of thought.
Right?
Yeah, thank you. They bring out like these like chow mein noodles that are, there's no meat in them. I think they're veggie. And then they bring out like chicken wings, and then that's just like your starters. And then they start bringing around the skewers of meat, like 2-foot long skewers of like steak, chicken, and shrimp.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. So Jerry, my husband, and my brother-in-law, Billy, the past couple times we've gone, they've had competitions to see who could eat the most shrimp.
Oh, God.
And it's never really ended well for either one of them because they get so full that like they can't even move. But yeah, Ohana is like, it's like a family tradition, I think, to go every trip that like my entire family's there. Try to swing a reservation there for around 9:00 or finishing up our meal around 9:00 so that we can watch the fireworks.
That's like a very coveted reservation for you guys to get like all the time. I'm very impressed.
I don't know if we've gotten like maybe like an 8:00 reservation and then just ate very slowly, I guess, and kind of just hung around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and watch the fireworks. And it's always like one of our first meals together or one of our last meals together. So it's always either like kicking off the trip and it's really awesome or like ending the trip on like a really high note.
That's such a cool tradition to have.
Yeah. And then, you can't forget the bread pudding that they have there. Oh, it's so good. I'm like not even supposed to eat it because it has dairy in it. But I've got to get a couple bites in at least. Yeah, I'll deal with the itchy throat. That's fine. So Rachel, what's your perfect resort hopping day?
I kind of followed up with you with the morning and the breakfast and the this and the that and the whatever.
Yeah.
So breakfast would be in Ohana because that's all I've ever had. And
I've never had breakfast there. So like we just need to swap.
That's so funny that you guys have like a same favorite place to eat, but at totally different times.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different.
Yeah, it's like different experiences. Totally.
Right. And then I would just take the time to just walk around the Polynesian. It's fun. I've always heard about it since forever because my grandma, she stayed there like who knows how many times she's talked about. And get a Dole Whip, hang out, whatever. I kind of cheated with the lunch in the afternoon and this and that. I didn't choose a resort, whatever. I would really I love to walk around downtown Disney.
Disney Springs.
It will always be downtown Disney.
Always. The marketplace side. I like the new stuff. It's like, but it's just too, it's nice to shop, but like, it's just too like out there. Like it's not Disney bubble at all. It's just not.
It's too flashy.
Yeah. It feels like you're at one of the outlets anywhere in Orlando. Like you don't feel like you're on Disney property.
That's exactly it.
I don't like it.
It's too like flashy and
I don't like it.
I hate it.
Just send me to World of Disney and I'll be happy all day.
Yup.
Right. That is now opened again fully. Hallelujah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, bless. Thank God.
But yeah, do that and just look at all the things that I cannot have. Look at all the things I would love to have. Just be real sad because I can't.
Go admire that $37,000 Crystal Castle.
I was thinking of exactly the same thing. I was like, yeah, go buy that.
Talk about when you win the lottery or marry a rich man.
Yep.
Well, Stephanie, you're the only one that could do that.
All right, I'll work on it.
Then we can have a castle.
Yep.
Thanks, Steph. Really taking one for the team.
Just so we can have that castle.
They meant I was the only one who could win the lottery. I'm like, no, we could all do that, guys.
No. And then I would just go have a sandwich at Earl's Sandwich because it's just a staple. Look at the pin shop across the way. See if there's anything that I would love to have.
There's some good pin trading at downtown Disney.
Oh, so good.
Pins!
Oh, I love pins. Then to continue on for dinner, afternoon kind of thing, just go back to what I was talking about before and walk around Pop Century and Art of Animation for God knows how long. Go have that seafood pasta. And then they always do the movies by the pool. And I have actually not done that, but I'm always like, oh, this is a good movie plan. I'm going to do that. But I'm always at the park.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You don't do it. But I'm hoping and kind of crossing my fingers that like when I get there, because I'm not going to go to a park immediately in February, I'm like, maybe they'll have a movie and maybe I can actually do it this time.
It is a good like first day, like take it easy, get ready for the parks tomorrow kind of activity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, for sure. So you can get to sleep and get ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But Stephanie, what about you?
So you guys usually have like cars when you're down in Disney or traveling with family members who have cars. And so it might be a little easier to do resort hopping. I usually fly down from New Jersey. And so I always have it to like rely on the Disney transportation to get me around. So I took that into account on my resort hopping day because it adds a level of like challenges.
It does. It adds a lot.
So I figured wherever I was, I could start off by taking a bus over to the Magic Kingdom. Then I'd get to take a monorail ride over to the Ticket and Transportation Center, aka the TTC. And already I've experienced 2 Disney transportation modes.
Look at you.
I'd walk over to the Polynesian because I think it's a nice walk. I like walking over from the TTC rather than waiting for the Polynesian stop. Call me weird.
It is a nice walk. We did that the last trip because we just didn't feel like waiting on anything. And I won't ever take a bus over there or whatever over there again.
Yeah, you get to like walk through by the pool and like see all the different like islands that all the buildings are based off. It's a fun walk. Like Rachel, I am starting my day off at eating breakfast at the Polynesian, but I would go to the Kona Cafe. I usually have an easier time getting a reservation there. I can usually do it last minute, whereas like Ohana, I think you have to have some planning for. But I go out of my way to go to the Polynesian for the Tonga toast, which for those of you who don't know, it is banana stuffed French toast rolled in cinnamon sugar and served with a strawberry compote and your choice of ham, spiced ham, bacon, or sausage.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Amazing. And if you can't get into Kona Cafe, they also have it at the Captain Cook's quick service restaurant. You can always get your Tonga toast.
Nice.
And once filled with French toast banana goodness, I would take a boat back to the Magic Kingdom, adding my third form of transportation to the day before lunch. From there, I could catch a bus to my next resort, the Animal Kingdom Lodge. And for many of the same reasons we've already mentioned, it is just beautiful. It's got to be one of the most stunning resorts I've ever been to. Definitely on Disney property, but maybe ever. There are so many different activities you can do there. They do like tours of the restaurants where they explain all the different theming, and they do like a scavenger hunt and face painting and food decorating and pool activities. And so you can just go up to the front desk and ask for a recreation calendar. I think there might be more activities that you can do at that hotel than at any of the other ones that I've been aware of. There's just like amazing art in the lobby. It's like an art gallery. You can walk around for hours and like see where everything's from. Even the hallways have art. So you can meander down the hallways near people's rooms, being quiet, of course, and respectful of their stays. But they have like masks and woven tapestry. It's beautiful.
Fair warning. Those hallways are long.
Yeah, they are. But you can like learn so much. They have like, it's like a history lesson and an art class and a zoology class, like all in one day. You definitely have to check out the Savannah to do some animal watching, and all the cast members there are always so eager to share their knowledge with you and talk about where they've come from. Most of them have come from Africa, and they're so excited to talk to you and so nice. It's lovely. And you get to see the zebras, and the flamingos are some of my favorites because I think they're like extra bright there. I don't know if it's like the background that they're up against, but they're always really cool. So after checking out all my activities and animals, I would definitely grab some zebra domes from the Mara.
Whoop, whoop.
And then maybe visit the pool bar by Izuma Springs to get the special of the day drink that they always have out. It's always something tropical and yummy. But often in Florida, there's a rain shower or two. So if it's raining, I could always go inside to the Victoria Falls Lounge, which has a really cool atmosphere. It's on like its own level down from the lobby, but up from the restaurants, and it's really cool and cozy, and there are fireplaces in there. It's an awesome atmosphere. I would then grab a late lunch or early dinner over at Sanaa in Kidani Village. If it's light enough out, you can get like a Savannah view table there and see the animals come like right up to the glass, which is really cool. When I ate there, it was dark and we didn't get to see that, but I've seen pictures and it looks awesome. I really like Sanaa because it makes like really adventurous foods really accessible. I'm not the most adventurous eater, and hearing like African and Indian food, I was unfamiliar with it, but they make it like really accessible. They have like chicken and beef and vegetarian option, and it's like foods but with like African and Indian twist on it. Yeah, so if you're not like feeling bold enough to go to Boma and Jiko, I think Sanaa is like a really good introduction restaurant.
Good to know.
Yeah, they're like known for their bread service. That's like one of the things the waiters will always tell you to get. They have like lots of naans and other flatbreads with like lots of sauces and spreads, and it's really yummy. And like the waiters there were like lovely, and they have like a really good knowledge of all the like South African wines on their wine list. I remember having like a great bottle of wine with a very like yummy dinner. I think I got like a buttery chicken curry kind of dish, and I can still taste it. It was so good. So finishing up at Animal Kingdom, I would take a bus over to Hollywood Studios. And then because I like walking, I would walk over to the boardwalk to finish my night out. They have street performers that come out around 7. There's like mimes and jugglers, which are always like really talented people. And again, like very, very nice. And you don't have to give them money because they're being paid by Disney. So it's like fun to stand around and watch. And I don't know, I don't feel like guilty or feel bad that these people are like earning their living doing this because they're getting paid by Disney. But there's also some great like restaurants and attractions around the boardwalk. They have one of the newest places is called Abracadabra Bar.
Cute.
Yeah, it's got like Disney theming and is this bar like that's themed around magic and magicians. And even some of the drinks contain some magic. So there's like a color changing drink and like one that like where the cotton candy melts. And it's really fun. Me and my sister went there on our trip where we were staying at the beach club, and we walked over, and it was really cute. It was really fun. And then there's also Jelly Rolls, which has gotta be. Have you guys ever been?
No.
No.
It's so cool. It's a dueling piano bar, and they open, I think, around 7. I read online. There is a cover charge, which looks like it looks like it's $15. So, I'm not a big fan of cover charges when I'm like planning on going in and paying for drinks. But if I drank the Abracadabra Bar, I could just go in for the music. And the 2 piano players that they have are amazing. Like they're so good. Everyone in there is just in there for a good time to like sing along and hear their favorite songs. When we went, it was lots of Billy Joel like sing-alongs. It was really fun. They bring around like unlimited popcorn baskets.
Sold.
Yeah. So for like $15, you get like an awesome show. You can stay there as long as you want and unlimited popcorn. And they do have like a non-filming rule. So it's hard to find like pictures and videos of like the inside online, but know that it's worth it. It's cool. And like nobody's too obsessed on their phone because the waiters will come around and be like, oh, can you put your phone away? So everyone's like in the moment and singing along, and it's really fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. We'll have to do that one day. Next trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And then I've only gone to like the Atlantic Dance Hall like once or twice, but it's kind of fun. If you're with like fun people, it's fun to just kind of hop in. There's no cover charge and you can just dance and kind of get your groove on.
I think the only amount of time I've ever spent there was like on our college program. I can't remember who I was with, but we went to go get in the pool at the boardwalk, and we were like terrified that we were going to get kicked out the entire time. So like that's.
I think it was us.
Was it? Okay.
I think it was me and you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys get in? Now they're like really strict about it.
Yeah, we got in the pool, but we were always like looking around like that SpongeBob meme where he's like moving really fast. Like that was us. But yeah, I don't think we spent that long of a time there. So like I've never spent any amount of time like at the actual boardwalk, like walking around and stuff.
It's fun. Yeah, you guess they have like the street performers out. So like everywhere you walk, there's like something to look at. There's something going on. And then if you time it right and you're there at 9 o'clock, you can pop out and catch illuminations from wherever you're active. You can kind of see like the high fireworks.
For a limited time only.
Yeah. And sometimes Phantasmic too. You can catch like in between. You can see them going off. And I just think that's a fun way to end the night.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So how about you, Katie? What would your day of resort hopping be like?
Well, my perfect resort hopping day would have to start in like winter, I guess early fall, late fall, whatever time it is. About mid-November before
best resort decoration time.
You've got the Christmas decorations.
Mm-hmm.
You've got less crowds because people are either waiting to come Thanksgiving week or waiting until the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, I mean, of course, it's Disney. There's still going to be people there. But across the board, it's a little bit fewer crowds in earlier November. So just setting the stage.
Yeah,
I like it. Nice fall, not too hot. Yeah. So first, regardless of where I was staying, I would wake up and go to the Grand Floridian. Get there as early as possible. Earliest breakfast you can do. If you can do a 7 a.m., do it. The whole Grand Floridian is just like lit up in the morning. Everything's brighter. Everything's prettier. So cheery. It's like unreal, the experience of walking in there first thing in the morning. Plus the breakfast at 1900 Park Fair is so cute, no matter what age you are. I've never had a bad time there.
Yeah, we just went with like a group of like 20 something and had the most fun character interactions.
Yeah, like Pooh, never a bad time with Pooh. And it's a perfect way to start your day off. Like a hug from Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, okay, my day is good. You can also walk around the resort. There's pin trading, there's shops, there's plenty to do in the resort. You can take pictures, plenty of photo opportunities. The grounds of the Grand Floridian are beautiful as well. You can pop by the wedding pavilion. In an ideal world, that's where I'd start my morning. Because as Stephanie said, I would have a car. So I wouldn't really be relying on having to go to parks to get to different resorts. I would just drive straight over to the Pop Century Art of Animation area.
Nice.
Stroll around that area, see all the big, larger than life things, walk around, read all the decade signs and the art signs that we mentioned before. It's good exercise if you've got like an off day from the park. You don't want to like sit around and do absolutely nothing. You want to kind of keep those muscles going. So like, good exercise, get the walk around that resort. Really good photo opportunities.
I was gonna say it's a great park if you're like there for one of the Run Disney races and need to get in a little jog before the race. They have like a good running path through both resorts.
Yeah, excellent running path and good places to stop when you feel like stopping, because running is the worst. But you have really good photo opportunities, whether you have like a group of all adults or a group with some kids. Like the kids are going to run around and play on all the like characters that they know and recognize. All the adults are going to want pictures with those same characters they know and recognize. It turns everybody into little kids. Like you see the life-size statue of Eric that she would have found in the sea, and you're like, I'm a freaking mermaid.
So true though. I think we were like, we need pictures with that.
Yeah, I think I've spent like 4 or 5 hours before walking around and taking pictures.
They are really big resorts. Like you look at them and you're like, oh, it's a value. It's like little like an all-star, but it's like it's a lot of walking. It's like if you want to take pictures with everything, you could spend a whole day there.
Absolutely. Yep. I do lunch there. We already mentioned it has the best. I'm sorry, I should specify. Art of Animation has the best food court. I like the idea of food courts anyway, especially if you're with a group. Everybody can get what they like. You don't have to go to like this place and then this place and then this place to make sure everybody has something they want. They're not having to compromise too much on their meal, because I don't know about you guys, but food is like the most important part of a trip to me.
We know I don't compromise on food too well.
I was about to say, we don't make compromises on our food. So you can get the pasta bar or the pasta bar, or you can even get the build your own pasta bar. Because if you're getting anything else, you're not doing it right.
But I do think there's a whole like gelato stand too.
That's true. But you get the pasta bar and the gelato.
Dessert.
Good option.
That's lunch and dessert.
I think I got like a chicken curry thing, which I was so surprised to see at a quick service. Like when the one time that I've been to Art of Animation.
Right.
And it was really good. So I'm just throwing that out there.
I think the Art of Animation food court is similar and like designed the same as like the other value resort food courts, but it's more upscale.
Yeah.
Super upscale.
So like you're still getting food court feel and food pretty much for the most part food court prices, but you're getting like better food. It's not hot dogs, hamburgers, and pizza.
Which I literally think that used to be like the 3 booths. One was hamburgers, one was hot dogs, one was pizza. But now it's more like chicken dish, like entree, like dinner, like blue plate meals or flatbreads. And yeah, Disney's changing with the times.
Oh, yeah. Also, the pin trading at Art of Animation and Pop Century area is all fire. I've gotten my best pins from Art of Animation.
Who knew?
I don't know if it's coincidence or if they just have the good ones, but
well, they're all about the art, so maybe they like focus on finding the most artistic pins. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, either way, I have definitely found the best ones there. Also, it's beautiful. The lobby's beautiful. Every part of the Art of Animation is beautiful. So then I would drive over to Boardwalk, and I'm actually doing 4. I would do 4 resorts in my day since I would have a car and I would have that convenience. And I just can't pick 3. So I'd go over to the Boardwalk. For all the same reasons Stephanie just discussed, I love the Boardwalk. There's so much to do. There's so much to see. Even if you don't do anything and you just sit on the Boardwalk and people watch the boats come in. You could rent one of the bikes and like bike up and down the boardwalk. So cute. Removing yourself from like the Disney vacation and kind of going like transporting yourself into a
That's true. Like if it does feel like you're not at Disney anymore, but you're still in like a really wonderful, magical place. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You're like at a clean version of a real boardwalk. So I'd probably spend some time there until, sun starts to go down, starts to get a little bit darker. And then I'd head over to the Polynesian. I think the Polynesian is the perfect way to end any day, even if you've been at a resort. Something about the Polynesian just is like a great way to end your day and prepare yourself for the next Disney day. If it's winter or colder, grab yourself hot chocolate. If it's summer, grab yourself a Dole Whip. You can do some more pin tradings. There's lots of shops there with really cool items. I think all the merchandise at Polynesian is really unique. I love going to the shops there. Even if I don't buy anything, I just like to window shop. And then, of course, you round off your night there with the fireworks from Magic Kingdom.
And I'll meet you there.
And whatever season it is, too. That's a really great way to see the seasonal fireworks, too.
Yeah.
If you want to watch Hallowishes, but you don't want to pay nearly $100 for an extra ticket, or you want to watch the Christmas fireworks or 4th of July.
Good tip.
Great place to just watch them from there. You're not having to be in Magic Kingdom with all the crowds. And so at the end of the night, you walk out to your car or walk back to a bus to a different resort, not Magic Kingdom, and you can avoid all those firework crowds because I hate the firework crowds. Love the fireworks, but not a big fan of the crowds.
Yeah, we have definitely ended many days on the beaches of the Polynesian.
Yeah. Some of my best memories are ending my day at the beach of the Polynesian.
Yep. It's so classic and so just like Disney to me,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
These all sound like really fun days. Can we go do this? We won't have to buy any park tickets. Let's just go.
For sure. Let's just do 4 different resort days where we all go to the Polynesian at some point.
And pretty much all go to Art of Animation at the sets.
Yeah, that too.
So you would get your super fill of that place.
Yeah.
I get so much pasta.
I have been craving zebra domes. Like sometimes I'll kind of forget them and then I'll remember that they exist and I'm like, I need them now.
And you're like, I need it.
So I've gone way too long without zebra domes in my life, which is really sad.
I did that with the cream cheese Mickey pretzels.
Holy crap, I missed those.
Yeah, yesterday I thought about them in the middle of the day and I almost cried because I wanted them so bad.
So if someone wants to send me a little case of zebra domes, a literal case, I want boxes of them. I'll just freeze them until I want to actually eat them.
Not the 8 that comes in it. I want 25.
Please and thank you.
All right. Are we done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So with all that being said, I can't wait to hear which resorts do you guys love? Do you have to stay at a certain place each vacation? Why? What do you love about it? Do you remember where you stayed for your first vacation? I have some really cool stories to share. We would love to hear them.
Email us at spillingthemadtea@gmail.com.
Tweet us at spillingmadtea.
And also, don't forget us to follow. Don't forget us. Just don't forget us. That's it. Oh my god! Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at spillingthemadtea. Good lord.
Thanks for joining us again for our birthday party. We can't wait to have you back again next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.